The IRS is drafting plans to cut as much as half of its 90,000 person workforce, AP sources say. Maybe I shouldn't have filed this year. What difference would it make? Don't you get some money back? As a sole proprietor? No. The only reason people get money back is because their W-2s send them a portion of your estimated taxes along with every paycheck. And then you wrap that all up with a bow come every April. In my case, I just have a fat chunk of money, sitting in the account, and then I throw it over at the IRS when it's time. Don't you pay double tax because you're self-employed? Up to a point, yeah. Oh, so that's why I don't get money back. Sole proprietary shit sucks. You know when you get money back from the IRS, they're not giving you money, right? They're giving you a rebate because you overpaid for your taxes. You never get money from them, unless... I'm joking, I know. Okay. There are so many people who think the rebate is actually fresh new cash from the government. It's insane. Yeah, it's the average American genuinely has no idea at all how taxes work. They'll be like, yay, got my tax rebate. Why are you getting a tax rebate at all? You shouldn't be getting a tax rebate. I mean, how much did you file? When you, how much did you pay the IRS in addition to the amount that was included within your W-2s? Did you throw more at them? Like, was the rebate just like the consequence of the deductibles? Like, you didn't add any additional, it was the W-2 contributions, and the rest of it was just like, deductibles or whatever else, your low income, so you benefited from some programs? That or how tax brackets work? Yeah, that's true. I like your funny words, Magic Man. How's your opinion on Associated Press? Associated Press is probably the best we have right now in terms of neutral media to look at. Also, there's no paywall. You can just do it. And they're currently embattled against the administration. How do other countries do taxes? I don't know. They probably just, the government tells them, hey, this is how much you owe us. Also, you've already given us this because it was included with your nation's equivalent of the W-2. So, all good. Why doesn't our government just tell us what we owe them? They would, but they were lobbied by TurboTax or whatever, so that you can pay money to a company to file your taxes for you. By the way, paying your own taxes is actually really easy, especially since most of you are not exactly in complicated financial situations. You have one W-2, you have some additional 1099 income from the, whole pics that you post on OF or whatever the I don't know, the 1099 SEC, 1099K, 1099, whatever the they file off of OnlyFans, okay? It's not that complicated, You can use the IRS Free File. You can put that shit together 45 minutes. Didn't they kill Free File? No, Musk said he's killed Free File, but if he killed Free File, then he did a bad job of it because I free filed. Also, you don't normally have to fuck with the deductibles because the standard deductible is almost always going to be more than all of your, a lot of people, they'll save receipts and stuff, but for depending on your income bracket, the standard deductible is almost certain. I made a couple of big clothing donations that totaled $7,000 of stuff. Not just clothes that I got since the fashion arc started, but other people's and also old stuff that I had, some suits that I don't fit in. It was a lot of stuff. And I marked it down for the year. And then I found that because of my income bracket, the standard deductible was still greater than all, I went through that effort for nothing. I mean, I would have donated it, but I mean, keeping the receipts and stuff. So unless you're doing some really wacky shit deductible-wise, your insane amounts of business expenses that aren't part of a registered business or sole proprietorship, it's a cost or some medical stuff or whatever, you're usually fine on the, standard deductible. You're a sole proprietor and you free file without a CPA. It's really not that hard. But I have a guy look it over. That time you donated the money to the PCRF directly. God, that was stressful. Yeah. When the estimated tax bill for that year for 2021 was yeah, you owe $220,000. Please put the check in the bag. And I'm like, no, wait. No. Wait. And had to listen, okay? I did a big donation. Do Americans pay taxes yearly? I mean, you can pay quarterly if you want, but yeah, most people pay yearly. The only real reason to do it quarterly is if there's any back-end adjustments you want to make to your W-2 filings, or if you don't want to have, because the difficulty with being a sole proprietor and not having a W-2 that contributes for you is that in my case, for my taxes, I just have to have my savings account have a lump of money in it, and I have to just remember that's probably the government's. That's probably that's not really my savings. That's the government's basically, you know? Put it in a different account than savings. Why would I do that when I could get 2% at minimum? Just dump that shit in a high yield savings account, you know? In a good year, you can get like a 4, 5, 6% off that, you know? Get a CD. Well, right now I'm not trusting any of these financial apparatuses, okay? Right now I'm building like the bean vault. There's no way you're getting 2% from a savings account. You can absolutely, yeah, you can get high yield. At the height of the, like in the most, I was seeing some savings account that, yeah, that was going, right now I'm seeing them around 4.5, but I've seen some that have come for like 6 at the height. But I think that one had some conditions to it. And it didn't last. It was 6% at the time, not 6% guaranteed over a given length of time, like with a CD. Crazy, up here in Canada, you get like 0.5%. Really? I can't imagine that's true. Not true, I get 4.5 with Canadian Bank. Yeah, like, there's no way 0.5 is the upper end on that, because that's lower than inflation is in Canada, like by a significant margin. Who would take that, you know? I found out that Canadians don't get fixed rate mortgages. What? Is that not a thing? Holy shit, and at their housing prices? So only like an elite aristocratic class gets to like own land there. That's wrong? Oh, okay. Misinfo from Tempest. It was fun to believe for a second, though. A lot of people here don't have fixed rates either. Yeah, but they should, is the thing. They should. Guy who goes for the variable rate mortgage in the year of our Lord 2025 as the tariff wars break out. Oh, man. Good luck. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. In Poland, you get 5 years of fixed mortgage. That's fucked up. That's not enough. Honestly, given the fact that inflation's almost certainly going to rise soon, I feel like now is the best time possible to dump that account. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, beans. You're going to want thousands of cans of beans. If I bought a car right now, I would just buy that shit in cash. I'm not buying a car because I'm not stupid. Because mine works. The one I already have works. But, like, the faster you can get rid of it, because I'm pretty sure past a point, you know, the highest of the high-yield savings accounts are not going to be above inflation. The USA is the only country who did 30-year fixed because, okay, I'm not defending 30-year fixed mortgages, okay? Mortgages should be like 10 years. I think that's fine. 15. 30 years is insane. So you buy it at 30, you don't even own it fully until you're 60? That's insane. Like, I feel like I'm being lenient with a 15 there. Well, everyone has shitty incomes. Yeah, well, but the houses shouldn't be that expensive, man. No, we do, Skynet. We have versions of that. 30 years is illegal in most countries because it breaks laws on interest payment to total cost ratio. Yeah, where it's 29 years in and you look back at the summary of your payments and it's like, yeah, you know, 13% went to principal. Don't look at where the rest went. We got it. We finally bought our $1.2 million single bedroom house in an area that has gentrified, then experienced urban decay, then regentrified, and now it's back in the decay cycle, you know, in a West Coast city. And it only cost $9 million in interest to the bank. I think 10 years is fine. Obviously, it would also have to be like, you know, housing costs would have to lower. But yeah, 10 seems fine. How much? Okay, tell me this because I've never bought a car. How long do those normally go on for? 2 to 3, 5? 2 to 3, 5? 5 if you're 2 to 3 if you're well-to-do. I think I'm on a 6-year plan. Never mind, Alec Gunter. Forget I said anything. They range from 2 to 8 years. They've been going up to 8 to 10 years now. Oh, no. 8 to... No, here's my 120 month. You know, hey, listen, APR free the first 6 months. American banks have started offering mortgages on cars. It's so grim. It's so grim. It fills me with despair whenever, you know, the Shop app, like a lot of online stores contract with them, and you'll see a thing online and it'll be like, you can buy this for $8 or $2 a month over 4 months. The Shopify thing or whatever. Yeah, that shit is grim. The degree of like credit economy, it's unimaginable, you know? Like the amount of how hard we've leaned into it. It's insane. Soon they're going to offer mortgages on PC. They're going to offer, yeah, you're going to have to get your like credit score checked before you go in for a big grocery visit. They're going to offer you pre-loan savings, 6 weeks to pay it back. My PayPal offers me that now. Yeah, I've seen that. It's grim. You can pay down loans earlier, saves on interest. Yeah, but like that's how they get you, right? Like that's the point. Like yeah, you can pay it all immediately. But the whole point here is that it's a way of encouraging people to get things they don't need or to allow prices to rise to a point where you don't feel the burn immediately. It's way easier to protest an unjust system for its pricing when it's like you go to buy the groceries and the grocery guy is like, that's $500. And you're like, what the But then if you're like, well, no, actually, it's not $500. You can put in a credit card. You can deal with it later. Or you can only put $125 on your credit card, and we will bill you the rest later with an additional surcharge. Mispayment leads to the accumulation of additional interest, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's like you abstract it more and more and more, It's like it used to be let them eat cake, but now it's like actually provide, 1/8 of a slice of cake to every French peasant on the condition that their grain levy in the future be slightly higher. It's like, just let people be mad at the injustice. Shit's too expensive. People aren't getting paid enough. Too much money's held at the top. The whole point of the credit economy, which America has more than any country on earth, by the way, the whole point of the credit economy is to abstract the degree of exploitation. So you're like, this is where you get this like American phenomenon, and this is a very American phenomenon, by the way, of people in the suburbs who have 2 nice new cars and a nice house, and they are broke. They make over $100,000 a year in that household, and almost all of it is going towards credit cards, interest payments, mortgage, car payments. And they feel poor. And you know what? They are poor. They don't have liquid currency. They are poor, but they don't live poor. And it's because they're idiots, but they're victims also of a system that past a point asked itself, how do we keep getting money out of people? How do we keep driving people into debt and making them like slaves essentially to their jobs in systems where plenty is already provided? You can get groceries pretty cheap, rice and beans, etc. Well, you have to incentivize people to spend beyond their means. How do you do that? Well, you build a bunch of really complicated systems that like will you it's like manipulative sales pricing. Right? Will you walk into a store and see a tea set for $80 and go, yeah, I need that? Probably not. But if you go in there and it's like 320 marked down to 80, limited time only, last available, rare sales collection or whatever, maybe you run out with that because you're like, oh, wow, I got it at a discount. Maybe you wouldn't just buy a second car with cash because you don't have that cash. But maybe if the second car's like, no, you don't get it. You finance it, you paid over 6 years, 72-month car loan, 0 APR for the first 18 months, and payments don't even start until month 7. And then it's like, wow, so we get like a free car for 6 months, basically. Well, 6 months from now, I should get that promotion at work, and I won't have to deal with the medical bill anymore, so that'll be done with. Yeah, 6 months from now, I could probably easily fit this car payment into my financial, my financial system. And in fact, getting the car now might actually help us make money, because then I wouldn't have to share the car with my wife. She could go out and do errands, and I could go out and do some work stuff while she's doing errands, meaning I would no longer have to take it at half day for when our kid finishes in the soccer game early. I could actually, this would be a really good idea. And then 7 months later, everything's just as bad as it was before or worse, and now you're paying for the car again. You get me? You understand? That's the point of this. It's just a bunch of psychological tricks and incentive structures designed to fuck you. How does a whole country become so terrible at managing money? Don't think of it that way, okay? That's like asking, how does a whole planet get so fat? Dog, the smartest biological engineers in the world are making your food higher calorie and addictive. Like, you're losing the fight for visible abs, but you're losing against powerful soldiers of Kellogg's, You're not just losing against your own willpower. There is an enemy, and they are smart. And likewise, with financial management, Financial management literally used to be you have the money in your bank account, or maybe even like in a box, and you have the bills. Now it's this nightmarish labyrinth. People are like, yo, you seriously telling me you put that hotel payment on your cash back card rather than on your like business travel access card that you could have gotten 5 times points on, which you then could have applied towards the credit card specific partnered brands if you go through their service? You're telling me you missed out on extra miles for this shit? Are you kidding me? Bro, you're a joker. You show this shit back to like the average financially responsible family in 1945 and they'd be like, what the are you talking about? Isn't it just money? The point is to numb your mind. Are Americans not taught financial management in school at all? Are you not listening to what I'm saying at all? What you could teach this to like an 8th grader? Hey, listen up, 8th graders. You can actually save like a shocking amount of money every year if you have multiple credit cards, always keep them paid off, but always put stuff on them because you get benefits. And the reason you get benefits for putting money on them is because that way your money is runs the risk of accumulating interest, and the bank wants you to trip up and accumulate interest, but you can't let them, and you have multiple credit cards to cycle out what you get optimal points for. Like, are you going to teach this to an 8th grader? And all the system's going to be different by the time they graduate. You know? You have to put shit in the credit cards, otherwise your credit score is not going to go up. And if your credit score is not going up, they're not going to let you get a damn house or a car or any business loans in the future. How does it work in other countries? Do you have the money in your account? Yes? Okay, there you go. There's one sandwich for €4. They don't have credit scores, and they barely use their credit cards. Americans love their credit card debt. Not so much in other countries comparably. Are credit cards not a thing? The insane system of incentivizations that we have to manipulate you into incurring debt is not as common over there. Like there's an element of it, but they have much better like consumer protections. The EU in general has a lot of consumer protections. So this is special to America? Yes. Wait, you need to use credit cards to get your credit score up? Yep. You have to. If you, as an adult, never get a credit card, you're kind of in America when it comes time to like do a lot of stuff. Renting, sometimes they'll check your credit score. You have to build up a credit history. You're literally punished for being too good with money because that means you're not a very profitable customer. Yeah, the best way to manage your credit score is to just buy literally everything on a credit card and always pay it off, but never don't use it. It's good to pay off your credit card debt, but it's bad to leave it with no debt. Like you want the credit card to be actively used. Yeah, pay it off in full. That sounds like fraud. That's just using a credit card. It's normally that's what you should be doing. You don't want to leave stuff on there because then it accumulates interest. So what if I build a good credit card history, then close the credit card account? You would close the card, presumably. Then your credit score would begin to decay over time because you no longer have an open line of credit. I just keep my monthly phone bill on it and pay it off like normal. Yeah, no, you could just, I would say just dump as much onto it as possible. All the FICO score cares about is access to credit. They don't care if you use it. This is a myth taught by credit companies to trick people into leaving a balance. You can open credit cards, not use them. It's the same as paying them off. I don't know if that's true. All I will say is, and this is the most harmful myth, you do not need to let a balance accumulate on your card. If you have any amount of money charged on your card, any like your line of credit, there's anything on that, pay that shit off. You do not need to leave that there. I don't know to what extent like the overuse is necessary, but in my case, and in most people's cases, you know, you get points for using your credit card, like 2% cash back or whatever, you know? And then you get like, if you put everything in the, like if you have, if you put like utilities on your debit, it's like, okay, they take the money. You put utilities on the credit, maybe you get 2% back. And it's like, okay, how much is utilities altogether? What if like 500 or something altogether? I don't fucking know. It depends on where you are, right? That means you get a sweet 10 buckaroonies. Yay. 500 for utilities? I don't know, like so-and-so for internet, gas, water, electricity. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't ever do the minimum payment. So is it bad to just pay back the minimum? Well, yeah, because then the interest accumulates. If you ever have any remaining balance on it past the interest period, the month closes, then that you get charged interest on it. Because credit cards have generally very high interest, you know, that shit balloons. The minimum payment is bullshit, by the way. The reason why you can have $4,372 on a card and they're like minimum payment by X date, $15 is because they want to charge you interest on the remaining, $4,000. Why even have a minimum payment? To trick you into only paying it. That's literally the reason why. To make you think, oh, I need to make the minimum. Okay. So you get charged interest on the rest. That's it. That's literally the only reason why. They're evil. But if you don't pay off at least the minimum payment, then that hurts your credit score. Well, you should pay all of it off, is my point. I'm not saying don't pay the minimum. I'm saying pay the maximum. How do you know so much about finances? I'm 31 years old. It's not that any of this stuff is really that complicated once you like take a second to learn. It's like learning how to file your taxes. Okay, it depends on how you want to learn it, right? Because if you're like, I want to learn how to file my taxes. How does the American tax system work? I know how I'm going to learn this. I'm just going to look at all of the forms that you can file to the IRS and see which ones apply to me. That's how you end up like the monkey who learns about the median voter, okay? Instead, you just do a bit of Google foo or whatever, and you're like, hey, I'm a single filer. I got a W-2. I have some deductibles. What forms are relevant to me? It turns out it's like seven forms, right? It's like nothing. It's like 7 out of 500, maybe. It's not that complicated. Likewise, with the financial stuff, most of it's just reading the fine print a little bit, It's definitely less complicated than your favorite JRPG. Vosh, the industry term for people who pay off their balances in full each month is freeloaders. That pretty much tells you all you need to know. I love freeloading. I love my 2% cash back, never paying a dime of interest on my massive upper limit credit card because I put everything on it. So the bank is like, man, this guy's putting shit in his credit card that we didn't even think was possible. He's putting the flights, holy shit. He's just for fun. He's just charging stuff to the card for fun. What are we going to do? Raise the limit. Let him charge $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 limit, whatever. Let's see. Maybe he'll buy a house off of it. And then I don't ever let a single cent of interest accumulate. No matter what gets put on there, I just know there's some greedy motherfucker down there at the bank who's like, they're seeing the balance on the card go up and up and up, and we're getting closer to the pay period, and he's like, finally, it's going to be like $16K. We're going to see that interest finally accumulate. Please, God, let it. And then 1 hour before the pay period. Nope. Paid in full. Sometimes I show up at the bank with a suitcase full of cash just to pay down the balance, just so I can see the disappointment, I walk in there. I'm like, hey, I'd like to put down the balance on my credit account. They're thinking like he's doing this in person. This guy has to be some kind of like insane person. They take a look at the balance, 16, 18, whatever the thousand. They're like, oh my goodness. Okay, how much would you like to put down on that? And I start pulling out the ones. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, it's a double RL canvas bag with leather straps, by the way. Do you like the sandalwood oil they put? Okay, hold on. How many hours left until the pay period finishes? Okay, we have time. Just barely, though. 3 hours. Okay. Hate the bank. However much you hate the banks, you don't hate them enough. Should I hate credit unions too? I actually don't know much about credit unions. There might be some good shit to fuck with there. I just haven't. It's just a gap in my knowledge,